Warcraft is breaking tradition. Now, I assume Bellular is talking about the fact that we are not getting a PTR with 10.2.6, but I believe he also has more information about what this patch is going to be about and everything else. Pirates, we know. But what? What could it mean? Let's see.
Hey, welcome back. Honestly, today's a pretty exciting one. Blizzard have never done this before. Patch 10.2.6 will be a full surprise patch. It will have no public test realm. All we know is it will release in March. Now, from that, of course, we can update our content release calendar for the War Within. And as for the content of this patch, well, we don't know what's there, but Holly has teased, and a few shreds have appeared before in some prior data mining. And those shreds at least show they've been working on fairly interesting stuff. Now, Holly's not lying, we don't know what's here, but I can tell you a little bit more than the 10.2.6 blog post would lead you to believe. Context first then, our executive producer Holly Longdale penned a blog post called A Word on World of Warcraft. Now this is of course not long after the layoffs, and per some filings, we know that 899 people were impacted in the state of California. That's a pretty scary number, but that's actually more than just Blizzard. It also includes the likes of Activision Blizzard Corporate, which was insane.
Man, layoffs are just freaking insane lately. I've witnessed them where I work now recently too. I mean, my God, every corporation, it's like all the CEOs get together every year to decide what they're going to do, and this year they decided we are just going to hack and slash the shit out of our employees and just have people double up on work. And no, you don't get promoted either. You're just getting more work. Yeah.
Santa Monica, and I imagine it would have been hit especially hard because of the corporate level overlap with Microsoft. Now, from what I could gather, the WoW team was hardly impacted in those layoffs, but of course, it's not really put a good mood in the air, so calling your post A Word in World of Warcraft certainly does convey some gravity. In this post, she outlined their focus to continue evolving the world based on what they've learned through 2023 to ship the War Within, and a willingness to try new things and to take some risks. Now, they clearly are doing that. Just look at Season of Discovery, A, as a thing, and B, Season 2, where, as an example, they're banning GDKP as an experiment. Now, for Dragonflight, this means 10.2.6 will be a different sort of patch, as Holly said. Now, if you're not in the loop here, Season of Discovery dropped with no data mining. People found out things first on the live build.
Yeah, true. But here's the thing. Season of Discovery basically had a PTR because it was classic WoW. It was also retail, like it was also vanilla WoW. So they added in certain things. Sure, those new rune systems and everything, obviously big changes to the game. You got tanking warlocks and shit. But a lot of this stuff has already been tested out. So that's why no PTR didn't matter so much for that. But for retail WoW, no PTR is kind of crazy. I like it because I prefer to experience shit in game. I don't want to see shit before. I look at data mining a lot of times, but I don't like it. I'd rather just see it for the first time, be surprised by it in the game. But it's risky because there's a chance shit falls apart.
Abilities, secrets,
stories
shit
drops
like the Xalatath stuff we've talked about. And that meant that the excitement was palpable. People were discovering new things as they played. That seems to be what they want to recreate in live. Now, what Holly said leaves us with a few clues for this patch. Number one, she said that it will be open to anyone with a WoW subscription who wants to play, including classic players. Two, she said that it's been inspired by past musings from the community. And three, it's an event. So, let's figure out what this all means, then we'll tackle Season 4, and then our release date predictions for everything. Okay, hard evidence first. This is Algalon. Meet Algalon. It's a bot that's been built by community developer Ghost. And what it does is it monitors the Warcraft CDN, a content delivery network.
10.2.6.
And it's very handy.
Internal
As we can
build.
see here, patch 10.2.6 first appeared on December 12th, 2023, when it was pushed to WoW Dev 3.
Damn, so December of 2023. Over a month ago? Almost 2 months ago now. Oh, that thing's been on there for...
3 is one of their development endpoints. It's usually like WoW Dev 1 is modern, WoW Dev 2 is classic, WoW Dev 3 is the new thing. And of course, given the team's very heavy parallelization, I think this probably just reflects that they're working on more things at once. So, this is our first breadcrumb. WoW Dev 3 getting 10.2.6 back in December, and since then, it has continually been updated with new builds of patch 10.2.6, most recently last night. Our next breadcrumb, well, it's Vampire Survivors, because we've been able to sniff out some back-end changes, the sort of thing that you'll understand with today's sponsor. Friend of the channel, boot.dev. So
God.
they are going to teach you back-end web development, which is an amazing and valuable skill.
If you don't know what a Vampire Survivor is, it's essentially like just like a game where you gain power-ups, you get stronger, and you just kill waves of mobs that are just coming at you. Constantly coming at you, coming on you, coming everywhere, who knows. But you're killing these mobs and you're just gaining different power-ups and you're continuing through it. A version of it was found on Warcraft. Right, in the data mining, but we don't know what it's for yet. There's a Vampire Survivor game. We have no idea.
Of course, safe knowing that A, they've got a 30-day no questions asked refund policy, and they've got interactive demos for every course, and they even supply all of their materials for free in guest mode, sans the interactivity, which is incredible. It's so many resources.
There you go.
So yeah, the point is, it's about you writing code, it's about you solving problems, and because Boot is made by people with loads of experience in this field, the point is that it's about you learning real fundamental skills.
Give us the code, Bellular. Give us the code.
Get rich quick by quickly getting this skill trend chasing thing. No, it's actually getting you, the real skills that will help you land an actual job. I mean, look, I spent thousands a year doing computer science at uni, and let's just say the cost-benefit analysis here is kind of crazy. So you can hit them up using my link and use code Bellular for 25% off your first purchase. A big thanks to Boot for supporting the show. Let's go. No, I've not lost my mind. It really is Vampire Survivors. So, a few weeks before 10.2.6 hit WoW Dev 3 back in December, a rather baffling string was found in a publicly tested build of 10.2.5. These were entries in the scene script database, and you may ask, what's that? Well, Wowhead, who are, of course, extremely experienced in the data mining field, they said that the scene script database is usually used for cutscenes in minigames. Now, a quick TLDR on Vampire Survivors.
A WoW minigame. Interesting. The only kinds of minigames we ever had were like puzzles and weird shit. A lot of that stuff, we saw it in Zereth Mortis. You had all those little puzzle minigames and stuff like that. This would be cool, though. A Vampire Survivor minigame in WoW. That'd be kind of nice. I remember when we saw this, we thought it could be part of the Gilneas event. The retaking of Gilneas, but obviously didn't show up there. So maybe it's part of the pirate patch.
In it, you kill monsters, collect XP, level up, and get chests. As you level, you choose between items. Different combinations of those items can evolve into a more powerful type of item. Essentially, it is a buildcraft-based roguelite with upgrades in between runs and many different unlockables and sort of discoverables. It's a very approachable game, and it essentially works off auto-attacks, so with some builds, it can almost have a soft idle element to it. It's been very successful. Now, how could this make sense within the context of WoW? Well, if there was a survivors mode, as this data mining would suggest, it would have to be separate from your character's gear. It would have to be a game within the game. Now, if so, that would also make it be approachable to classic players, because they could just download patch 10.2.6 in the modern client and do whatever the hell this is. So it could be as simple as that. A game within a game built with the same tools that, say, Torghast was built with, that's perhaps inspired by Vampire Survivors with
Why did he have to connect it to Torghast? Why did he have to do that? Now I'm not excited anymore. But all jokes aside, I guess it would be some type of instanced content like that if it's some kind of mini game.
Bunch of, gear and upgrades and things like that to earn. That's one theory, and it is one supported by data mining. But there's every chance that's just a fragment of an abandoned experiment. So what else? Well, the other thing is...
You know where this would have been really cool? Like some type of Scourge invasion shit back in Wrath. I would like to play like a mini game where you fight to the death. Like the waves just keep coming. You either do it by yourself or with a group of people. And it's like basically like a zombie survivor game, I guess, where the waves just keep coming, and you just keep continually gain power. Now, where have we seen power gains before? Temporary ones in a mini game mode. Yeah, he mentioned it, Torghast. So that's kind of already, that foundation's already been laid in the game. So I could imagine, yeah, like some kind of, vampire survivor game where like you're connecting the power-ups just like we used to in Torghast, and you're getting stronger, and once you die, it's over. But you keep pushing until you don't, basically, as far as you can go.
Skull and Crossbones, which obviously suggests pirates. That could be part of this whole Vampire Survivors inspired game mode, of course. But to go back to the pirates, they were reintroduced to us in patch 10.0.7, where we learned of the Night Squall, a legendary pirate who was said to have sailed beyond the limits of the map, likely to the other side of the planet. He's done that, he's apparently lived to tell the tale, and now he wishes to assemble a grand fleet in search of unbelievable treasures, and I would expect potentially a bit more than just that. Now, the question, what's on the other side of the world? That is a mystery long teased by WoW, so it's not something they will have brought up lightly, especially because 10.07 had another lore book, Neltharion's copy of The Old Gods and the Ordering of Azeroth, and it contains his annotations. And in one of them, he scribbles out a line saying Kalimdor was the world's only continent, and he says, no, that's a Titan lie. Of course, remember here, per that book, Kalimdor is the original supercontinent,
the Pangea,
the Sundering. Anyway, another thing from Holly, she said the event is inspired by community musings. Well, I know at least for our part, we've been banging on about the Night Squall stuff ever since 10.0.7, as has the wider community. So, it could be that, maybe inspired by the pirate chatter, the 10.07 stuff, maybe they're planning something special across the world. That would make sense to me. And going back to the original in-game letter, Return of the Night Squall, towards the end, it states that he returned with a hold full of treasures, the like of which have never been seen before. Now that's kind of interesting to me. What type of treasure? If it's the like of which has never been seen before, it makes you think it's not just a bunch of gold coins.
Gotta be some cool gear or something. That would be really nice.
It is special. Maybe it's from the heretics of Avalorn, a group so strong Odin's forces couldn't apprehend them, which of course we also learned about in this expansion. If so, then we can imagine all sorts of lore snippets and in-game mechanics. Maybe some of this could even be the narrative framing for Season 4's revisited dungeon and raid mechanics. Either way, I think it'll be a lot more than just dungeon and raid mechanics. It'll be obviously something that we can all do. Holly said it's patch 10.2.6 of Dragonflight and that it's an event for classic and modern players.
It's going to be something everyone can do. I remember it was in this article somewhere. I don't know if it's on the screen right now, but she said it's going to be something that everybody can do. And it's not going to be essentially like gear locked or level locked in any way. It's just going to be, hey, get in here and do it. Have fun.
That very much means max level Dragonflight characters cannot be required to do this event. So for me, that reinforces the Vampire Survivors angle, or at the very least, the sort of game within a game angle.
Yeah, maybe.
And when we try to think about that from first principles, at least for Blizzard, well, they can do that sort of thing. Look at Torghast. Yes, it didn't work out well for a host of reasons, but look at what it actually is. There's horrific visions, which were all so fantastic. And with Torghast...
What if, I mean, this thing could be, this Vampire Survivor game thing could be a combination between Torghast, like gaining power-ups and all that stuff, and maybe like island expeditions, because those were kind of like an instanced minigame. So I could imagine that, like maybe we're doing some kind of pirate island exploration where you have these instanced minigames where you're gaining power-ups, but you're on this island constantly being invaded. You're vampires surviving your way through it, chopping through enemies, and gaining power-ups on a little island. That could be something. Those are two like failed systems that honestly could have been better, but they just never really, they never really got it right.
There's obvious potential there.
Interesting
The tech of that, plus inspiration from Vampire Survivors, and no need to get Soul Ash or whatever for legendaries, that'll make a big difference. Maybe this is accessed via a character in our main cities, maybe even in Booty Bay, given the pirate theme. A game within a game. Maybe a test for future types of content. I mean, you'd be surprised how impactful stuff like that can be. Game within a game things. That even includes the likes of custom maps for Warcraft and StarCraft that inspired entire game genres.
Dota was a game
like Tower Defense, like MOBAs. Of course, there's Battlegrounds, which is an auto-battler addition to Hearthstone that quickly became the game's most popular mode. So that they're willing to experiment here, well, it's exciting. Also because it works on one of World of Warcraft's new and largest problems, what I call expectation boredom. 8 dungeons and a raid, a new zone and a season and a raid.
Right.
You get that sort of thing where, be it an expansion or a patch, WoW is kind of predictable, right?
Yeah,
now, the good news is recent stats, such as those from Mythic Plus, show that WoW is retaining active players way better. But WoW has...
One of the things I'm most excited for, he is right, you're typically getting, your Mythic Dungeon pool, your raid and all that stuff, but that's why one of the things I'm most excited for in the next expansion is that all the delve content, all the open world content. I mean, there's going to be a lot of it because they added open world content on the what's it called, the vault. Your weekly vault is going to have an open world content tab to it, to a row. So that's really cool. And that's why I'm really excited about delves, because that's like new, legitimately, we haven't done that kind of shit content before.
Doesn't really grab people and yelled, hey, you've never seen WoW like this. This is truly new. You've got to go and play. It's never said that. Outside of course, Season of Discovery. People right now in WoW, I think, have more and more reasons to stay playing the game. But I don't think there are as compelling reasons to return to the game. And I think that events like this, especially if they're positioned to be relevant to everybody. They are, outside of big killer new expansion features, an amazing way to cut through the noise, to do something that people will actually notice and basically let players know that you're trying hard, and maybe they should give you the time of day and give WoW a
Getting
chance.
players to return to the game, it's really tough to do mid-expansion or towards the end of an expansion. The best way to get people to come back is a new expansion. That's when you're going to get the most returning players. So the War Within and the way they laid it out, where it's the World Soul Saga, so it essentially feels like it's a totally new chapter, 3 expansion part series for World of Warcraft. I think a lot of people are going to come back. Like, people feel like, okay, this is the end story. I can jump in here. This is the final 3 movies of the series. I'm going to watch them, kind of thing.
So I think strategically, this is an important thing. Okay, let's talk about Season 4 and timelines to wrap us up. 10.2.6 PTR will go live when 10.2.6 goes live. That sounds odd, but the point here is that PTR will be used to test Season 4 changes, and then the live version of 10.2.6 will be running the event. This all goes down in March per Holly, but we don't know exactly when. Also, bear in mind that patch 10.2.7 Darkheart, which is the direct prologue to War Within, is also on the horizon. Now, for the most part, Blizzard have shipped an update every 8 weeks. If that continues to hold, then based on the 10.2.5 launch date, 10.2.6 will go live March 12th in the US, 13th EU. Now, assuming then that Season 2 starts, say, 2 weeks after that, after some quick testing, and it lasts for maybe 105 days, which was the duration of Shadowlands Season 4, then that would put Dragonflight Season 4 ending Tuesday, July 9th. If we then had a 1-month-long pre-patch, as we did with Dragonflight, then the War Within would be launching August 6th. Now, personally, I don't think it'll be quite that fast, because, say, the end of Shadowlands didn't have a patch like 10.2.6 or 10.2.7. Both of those patches will give us things to do outside of the dungeon and the raid, so I do think that means the season being a little bit longer here is reasonable. But still, and I think regardless of how you slice it, it looks like August is our release window for The War Within, and August is actually right back on track with Legion and BFA's launch months, and it also matches our roadmap quite well. Because looking at it closely, you see that War Within...
I don't think August is too soon. I think it will be August. I do, and we already know that it's not going to be like that November timeframe. It's going to be sooner than that. August, certainly, maybe, no, I don't know if it's August 6th or not, or it's the last week of August. We'll find out. But I do think that August time window is going to fit perfectly. August 20th, maybe. I mean, it's got to be like a Tuesday. I still don't know that 3 days early thing, if that's going to happen on a Saturday or it's going to be Tuesday, then everyone's getting it 3 days after Tuesday with the pre-order stuff. I would like to have them do time walking raids at current gear level that drop current set tokens at heroic difficulty versions. Look, Hive, I think time walking is has so much potential. They definitely have to flesh out time walking more. I don't know what time running pandemonium is going to be. Maybe that's a new version of time walking. We'll see. But there's certainly a lot of potential behind time walking that they haven't really unlocked yet. 20th is the third Tuesday. Punstar, yeah, they could be the 20th then. It really could. They're not going to announce it because even they have a moving target. Like, they're not exactly sure yet, but I think August is a safe bet.
Is at the late bit of summer, not the early bit of autumn. Now, do you know what's a pain in the ass? Seasonal dates. So per astronomy, it's June 21st to September 23rd, but per meteorology, it's June 1st to August 31st.
What an entrance.
So basically, Blizz, are you taking your summer months to be based on the temperature cycles of the world or the astronomical position of the planet? Well, the latter does sit a lot better with me, but if their roadmap says late summer and our numbers are saying August, that would actually fit the meteorology definition of summer. So there's that. Okay, so the War Within launching on, say, August 20th. Let's add 8 weeks to that, and then we have 11.0.5 coming out October 15th. Now, that patch also includes WoW's 20th anniversary event. The 20th anniversary, well, that is November 23rd. So roughly speaking then, if that patch was dropped on the 15th of October, you'd be pretty much playing the game for a month and a bit, then you'd have the anniversary event, and pretty soon after that...
We got to get a cool mount. Got to be a cool mount in the anniversary event. So basically, what that does is the anniversary event ensures that we are getting the expansion obviously before the anniversary event because that's dropping as a patch. I think it almost locks in August. I think it does because if you drop the expansion in September, you're getting the anniversary event like a month later. Shit, people are not me, but there's going to be a lot of people still leveling at that point. So, but I think August is a good bet, especially because that anniversary event. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, you'd have the holidays. Now, if you add 8 weeks to October 15th, you get December 10th as a potential date for patch 11.1. Of course, 11.1 isn't in the roadmap. Personally, I'm expecting January of 2025, and I think the team are basically okay with that. I think they'd rather ship that patch after a holiday rather than before it, and I think they'll feel pretty okay about the content that's in the game because of the 20th anniversary event. Given that it's the 20th, I mean, come on, that's probably going to be fairly large. And then with that, we're into 2025. So I think that's what's going on with World of Warcraft. Personally, I'm very excited about this idea of doing patches with no PTR. That means that we're all playing the game together, discovering the new things together. So even though, yes, you might find out about a lore thing because of a Wowhead post, I think the bit that matters there is that's in the live game. You know you can play it right now. It's far more connected to you. I think that is a fundamentally better experience for the game. It is, yeah, just fantastic. It actually gives WoW a sense of surprise, a sense of, I suppose, dynamicism, and that they appear to actually be willing to take risks and try shit. That kind of tells me that, well, we're not going to be just getting cookie cutter, formulaic stuff all the time, and that they're actually trying to up their game. So that's what's going on. We'll have a really big lore video coming out, I believe, on Saturday. Stay tuned for that, and if you want to support the team that's making this content, well, you can check out bellular.ghost.io in the description below. All right, have a great day. See you next time.
Great video. Yeah, I think the number one thing we can pull out of this is that Vampire Survivor game mode is coming. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but it could be something really fun to play in the game. And yeah, War Within August. I think that's right. Whether or not it takes people 2 weeks or a month to level up, I have no idea. But great video from Bellular. This looks promising.